Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea and it's nice to have you guys here. I've got a bullet journal update video. My bullet journal is starting to get a bit full, so I am getting to the point of needing a new journal or needing to start a new journal. I've actually picked which one I'm going to use, which is making me also really excited to start using it. So I thought I would go through and show you. I was trying to remember when was the last time I did a bullet journal video. Let's look at looks like May 9th was when the last bullet journal video went up. This journal started in March, so I've been going through it for a while. So I thought I'd start with where I was the last time I did one of these updates and show you what has been added and what is new. I've kind of landed on a format for my daily and weekly spread. I've kind of combined the daily and the weekly together, and I've been doing that for a little over a month now, I think. So I'll kind of end with what that is because I feel like that's where I'm feeling really good and it's fitting my life right now really well, and so I don't see myself changing it. So let me flip the camera around and we will get into my journal. Excuse the mess on my desk. So one of the things I did is I recently changed the cover. This used to be a different quote. I think it was, "Worry is a misuse of your imagination." I've now got, "She believed she could, so she did," because that's just kind of fitting where I am in my life right now. In terms of like the key, all of that's still the same. So I've been keeping up with the social media stats. One thing that I did add since May is I'm now keeping track of the number of videos I post in a month, the number of Instagram pictures I post in a month, and the number of blogs I post in a month, so that I can kind of, if I see any large increases or decreases in the number of followers or subscriptions, I can also, or like a drop in views, I can look to see if did I post more or less videos than the month before. So I added that. I also added in a tab. This is still just a general dumping post. So ideas can just get listed here and worked out on a post-it note, and then if they get more developed, then they can get added to my actual content planning. This was the old content planning, which was adapted from the way Lily Pebbles does her videos and stuff in her bullet journal. There were elements of this that I really liked that you will see I carried over, and then there were elements that didn't work as well for me. The dots to figure out when I've filmed something, edited something, that sort of thing I've gotten rid of. And what I used to do was write things down in pencil and then go in with pen. Well, that meant that if I didn't do something the way I planned, I had to erase the pencil, and yeah, so I kind of fixed that. And then when we get to, this was, I think, roughly where I was when I did the last video. And then I started getting back into the weekly spreads. You can see this was kind of an experiment. I think I saw something similar to this on Pinterest and thought I'd give it a try. This is a new spread. This is to help me start planning for jobs. So I've got a list of job search resources, general things that I'm looking for, academic sites, and then non-academic places. So listing down companies, businesses, schools that I want to be targeting. You can see I've got much more on the non-academic side than I do on the academic side. Still doing a fairly classic weekly spread. I tried a habit tracker. That was a dismal failure. I just don't track my habits. But I tried having a kind of general daily habits I wanted to have, weekly habits and monthly habits. This was something that I got from Rachel from the channel Full Flourish. It's the Worry Tree, and I saw this in one of her bullet journal videos and I just absolutely loved it. So I took a screenshot from her video and then adapted it into mine. Hers was much prettier as it was drawn out. She's a way better illustrator than I could hope to be, but I really liked this idea. More weekly, monthly, and my monthly really hasn't changed. I've got it all on the one side, and then Saturday and Sunday kind of share a box because I don't really schedule a whole lot anyway. I tried doing a time log for my dissertation. that was also a spectacular failure. Here's content planning for June and July. I stuck with how I was doing it, and it was at the end of this that I'm like, yeah, this just isn't quite working for me. Here's where I started changing up the daily, and where I started practicing long columns with hour by hour. So I started doing this at the end of this week, so June 22nd, 23rd is June 22nd, 23rd. So I started playing with it this week. I really liked it. So the next week, I created one with a Dutch door. So I had all of my days, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. And then my other weekly stuff, like my top 3 goals and my task list and things for next week, got put into the Dutch door. That left a blank page on the back, which I then turned into low priority tasks. That really wasn't that effective because now this is kind of buried in here and I don't really come back to this. But I was really liking this format of top 3 goals for the day, my hour by hour, and then like notes at the bottom was really, really handy. So I carried that into July. So here's my July monthly spread. It's all kind of, that really hasn't changed too much. And then I got into weeks. So with the week, I was still doing the full length of the days and really liking that, but it meant that I was having the rest of the week spill onto the other pages. I ended up drawing the wrong number of days. I drew 8 days for the week instead of 7 days. I think that was because it was split up, so I just got confused, and then ended up with a lot of empty space here and a lot of empty space here. So the next week I kind of took that into consideration. I made my columns much shorter because, as you'll see, there's a lot of space in the columns even that I'm not using. So I made the columns thinner. I kept the top 3 goals at the top, and I kept a little kind of notes and ideas box at the bottom. Saturday and Sunday share a column, and then I've got my top goals for the week. This week I just had 1 goal. I had to finish chapter 2, and then general tasks. As you can see, that week almost all of them got migrated to the next week, and I started adding in a little section for blog and YouTube planning, and then for next week. Now we're at where I'm at now. You'll see that it's changed a bit from this week to the current week, but it's looking similar. So I really like having the lines all the way across. This is just a highlighter, the Stabilo pastel highlighter. I've still got the boxes at the top, so I can have daily goals, boxes at the bottom. I started adding in word counts for my dissertation. This was a really, really bad week. We're not going to pay attention to that. I'm still using my color coding, so blue is my dissertation, my grad school work. So it's also the workshop that I'm taking. It's anything that I'm doing for me as a student. Green is teaching, pink is YouTube and blogging, and then purple is personal. I've got my top 3 goals for the week, my task list for the week, blog and YouTube planning for the week, and then a place to list things for next week. The following week I started kind of filling in as I was going through and doing things. If it stayed according to plan, I'd shade it in the appropriate color, or I would adjust if something adjusted. I haven't really kept up with that. It didn't really feel like it was that much of a difference, although it does kind of help as a mental thing to see your day getting shaded in as I would go through. So I do kind of like that. So if I need it, I'll use it. You can see there were some things that just did not work out. I had to use the whiteout tape. I've got the word count. I also started adding in little Pomodoro trackers so that I could keep track of how much time I was spending on my dissertation each day. So you can see I started out really well this week. I had 1,200 words, 761 words, 3 hours each day. And then this day, I figured it didn't matter that it wasn't as productive because I had 2 productive days and I still had Thursday and Friday. And then Thursday and Friday, everything kind of fell apart. It was not good. But yeah, so then all of this on this side is kind of the same. Kept doing it pretty much like that for a while. Was a bit more productive with my dissertation in this week. You can see I shaded in some things, but not others. I've got my goals for the week. I started expanding my blog and YouTube planning for the week. So what was getting uploaded that week, and then what blog post I was going to write for that week, and what videos I was going to film on Sunday. Then we get to August. I can't believe we're almost to the end of August. August is the same. I really haven't changed anything. Now we get to how I'm planning it. Now this probably looks way busier and more complicated than this, but for some reason this is working with my brain so much better. So I use large post-it notes to start sketching out kind of a rough script or outline for some of the longer form videos that I want to do. And then I've got videos before they are filmed are post-it notes. The vlogs are the only ones that aren't, because the vlogs are always going to be the vlogs. But my Tuesday video and my Friday video will start out as post-it notes, which can then get moved around. So like Scrivener has gotten moved around more times than I can count. August favorites. My blog ideas have been moved around because I have not posted a blog since early July. I'm really sorry. So if something doesn't happen, that post-it note, I don't have to erase the pencil, I just move the post-it note. So a lot of these were over here and they've been shifted around. And then once it's filmed and it's definitely the video that's going up that week, then I take the post-it note off and I write it in pen and we're good to go. So I find that with my schedule and the way that things do get moved around a lot, this works a lot better in allowing me room to move things around and adjust my schedule. So that's how I've kind of adapted what I got from Lily Pebbles and kind of made it fit for me. I've tried drawing in my lines and having things a lot more streamlined. I have a week where I just freehanded things and that was disastrous. So I definitely think I like using the ruler. The journal that I'm going to be moving into is actually lined already, and it's one of the reasons why I picked that journal, because I don't see myself straying off of this format anytime soon. So I think I do want to switch back to a lined journal, and then that will make setting up this format a lot easier because I will only have to put in the vertical lines, not the horizontal lines. But this has pretty much stayed the same. I did a self-care plan, self-care routine. I'm still kind of fine-tuning the routine, so I've left things on the post-it notes, but I at least now have somewhere in my journal where I can see morning, throughout the day, evening, and then weekly things that I can do, and then some inspirational quotes. Now we're up to the last 2 weeks. So last week I didn't use a ruler, so my lines are really uneven and it just made the perception of time in the day really, really weird. But what I did do was shorten the columns, so the day is in a shorter column now, which gives me more space at the bottom. I was missing having room for stickers and washi tape and stuff, but I didn't want to be splitting the daily and the weekly. I wanted to see all my days in 1 week together and not have to use more than the 2-page spread. So I've got like thoughts, reflections, that sort of thing. A cute little, it's not a sticker, it's like I think it was supposed to be a gift tag, but I just put it in here. I've got my YouTube, my social media planning, so what was being uploaded, what's going to be filmed. I took out the lines for Saturday and Sunday and made Saturday and Sunday more of just like a list, because that's really all I need. I failed on all of my goals for that week. And then this week, which is where we're at right now, you can see the columns. These ones are much neater. I was using a ruler, but they're shorter. They still go from 7 a.m. to 11. I've got them in 1 hour increments instead of 30 minutes, and I actually kind of like that. It has worked. So that lets me get the full day, but in shorter columns. I've got 2 goals for the day, and then the date, and then I've got my top 3 goals for the week, my task list, things for next week, I didn't include a social media plan because it's just been really crazy. I've got a thoughts page that I'll do like a weekly recap when I go to do next week. And then I updated my word count. So rather than having the word count and the Pomodoros be each day up above, I've now got them all clustered in this little chart. So I've got my word count, my Pomodoros. I calculated the total word count down here. I don't have a total. I think next time, instead of having the washi tape, I'll do a word count total and a time total. I think that would be a lot more helpful for me. I don't think I've added anything else. I've tried out my new Zebra highlighters. So these are all of these except for this. This is the Tombow. And then my new blush pink Tombow. I've started keeping some of these stickers from Target in the back. So I've got some stickers that I keep with me even when I'm not at my desk. But yeah, this is kind of where I'm at. I'm really liking this format. It lets me have a lot of control over my day and seeing my day and really planning out my day the way that I used to do in my daily spreads, but it's in a much smaller format and it's letting me have the whole week together, and so I then see my week. If you go back to the beginning, some of these I have a weekly spread where I've got my week overview and then I've still got the separate days with, you know, tasks and appointments, which is much more of a traditional bullet journal format. But I've just found that I really like this, and it still gives me the flexibility. If there's a day that's particularly crazy and I want to see it all on its own without the other days around it, I can still do that. But I just haven't really needed to. This has been really, really helpful. So I'm looking forward to starting the new journal. I think I'm going to do all of September in this, and I will of course do a video for the new journal when I get it started, show you what it's like. But yeah, this is what I'm loving right now. This makes me happy. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Say hi down in the comments. Subscribe if you are not subscribed, and I will see you all soon in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.